I just stopped taking them. I didn't want to get hooked on drugs.
But one day,
I heard a commercial on the radio about QC Kinetics.
Rick called QC Kinetics and learned all about natural biologic therapies, non-surgical treatments that actually help the body restore damaged joint tissue. And it was life-changing.
After doing the QC Kinetics, I feel like I have a new life again. Today, my shoulders feel wonderful. My only regret was I wish I had done it sooner.
From dead ends to new beginnings. Call today and learn about QC Kinetics' long-lasting relief.
Call QC Kinetics, 826-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. New Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson says he has never assaulted or disrespected any woman. Watson was officially introduced by his new team today after coming over in a trade with the Texans last week.
I don't have any regrets. Like I said before, the things that are off the field right now that came up, caught me by surprise because I never did anything that these people are alleging.
Deshaun Watson, who still faces 22 civil lawsuits from women accusing him of sexual assault or inappropriate conduct. There's only one top seed left in the NCAA tournament. That's Kansas. The Jayhawks meet Providence tonight in the Sweet 16 in Chicago. Iowa State and Miami follows. In Philadelphia, St. Peter's meets Purdue, followed by UCLA and North Carolina. UCLA assistant Michael Lewis will be the new head coach at Ball State. Lewis played point guard at Indiana for Bob Knight. In the NCAA hockey tournament, Western Michigan beats Northeastern 2-1 in overtime. Coverage continues on ESPNU.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome in to the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy coming to you from the Ingles Studio. And we are obviously always sponsored by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. It's going to be a fun Friday afternoon today. I can already feel it because we're gearing up for college basketball tonight. North Carolina Tar Heels taking on UCLA. Two blue bloods battling it out in the Sweet 16. Last night we saw another blue blood advance in the Sweet 16, and, well, two number one seeds went home.
And if you listen to me, you're welcome, because it was a profitable night for you.
As Jeremy goes perfect in the 5 on it, did go 2-2. In the green on green. Maybe you should stick to college basketball and not do
yeah, well, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we'll be doing that again today.
Exactly. We got the green on green coming up at the end of this hour. We will have the 5 on it in the 4 o'clock hour as always. Deshaun Watson got introduced as a Cleveland Brown today. We'll talk about that in the 4 o'clock hour, how really utterly weird that whole situation was. We'll give you the previews of tonight's game. We'll talk about last night's games, and Scott Fitterer, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, coming out today and saying the thing that I think most Carolina Panther fans didn't want to hear him say. All of it coming your way over the next 2 hours here in the Ingles Studio. Don't forget that you can vote as well in the Most Overrated Bands bracket. We'll be posting up the poll here shortly in the YouTube feed. You want to see us along with hearing us, you can go to the YouTube channel. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, hit the subscribe button, and you can vote in the poll today. Most overrated, is it the boss, Bruce Springsteen and the E-Street Band, or is it Imagine Dragons, the winner of which will take on the Chicks in the Elite Eight? Yeah, see, they came in at the end of the voting yesterday and saved the Beatles. They are now out.
This is one of the few that I reserve the right to, if you get it wrong, to use my presidential veto. If Bruce Springsteen doesn't win this, he may be advanced anyway.
No, there are no veto powers here. It is we let the sportsocracy decide, the Democratic Republic of Sports. It's all one man, one vote, unless you have multiple YouTube accounts, and then you can cheat the system that way.
Which I do.
Which Jeremy does all the time to try to make it so that everything goes his way. Wishes he could do that with the betting, but when you go perfect in the 5 on it, you don't need to do that. All right, let's get into it. Last night in the Sweet 16, Jeremy, you went perfect, so there was no surprise for you.
No, I've been talking about Arkansas for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And Gonzaga, if you didn't see it, just go back and watch what happened last year and the year before that
and the year
before that.
Yeah.
They are the Charlie Brown of college football, or of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Just hold the football right there as you go, but missed it by that much.
Oh, it does beg the question, will there ever be a time where Mark Few can celebrate a national championship? 74-68, they lost last night to Arkansas. I will say this, though. We talked about the officiating.
I knew you were going to start with this.
I mean, you can't look at that game and go, the officiating was fine.
Do you remember what the first thing I said about that game last night was?
Yeah, if Chet
Watch
Holmgren
Chet
gets
Holmgren
in,
get 2 fouls. Do you know why I said that?
Why?
Because that officiating crew is notorious for that.
Okay.
You have to know that going in.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason the officiating crew is released before the game.
Right. There were 3 really bad foul calls against Chet Holmgren last night. And
okay, elaborate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm thinking the one that got him fouled out of the game, where he goes straight up with hands in the air. It's not a foul, right?
It has been for 20 years, so I don't know why this is dumbfounding people now. I have complained about that since we've been doing this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are you supposed to do? But it's not new. It's not like, it was such an off-the-wall call. No, they do this all the time. They do that in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just a college basketball problem.
Mm-hmm. There was another foul that he picked up early in the game that, to me, it looked like it should either be a turnover or it should have been an offensive foul. I don't remember who it was for Arkansas, but they were just bullying him, like inside the restricted area, and they called a foul on him. I don't see how that happens. I know there are bad calls in games, but when you basically take the best player on the floor out of the game by calling these ticky-tack fouls, obviously the team that lost is going to have a qualm with that. I mean, you still have to stand up and you still have to win. I'm not saying that they would have won this game had it been any different.
Arkansas, I don't care what happened.
Yeah, Arkansas played amazing last night. I love Eric Musselman with all of my soul.
And this is him going back to the Bay Area where he was one of the worst head coaches in NBA history with Steph Curry sitting in the front row.
Right.
I loved every second of it.
Mm-hmm. But this has been the trajectory of his teams. Remember when he put together that just bang-up team with Nevada, and then they made a run in the tournament? And then he goes to Arkansas, and now Arkansas is a tournament threat each and every year. I was shocked because I only picked 2 national champions this year. In my bracket, I only did 2 brackets this year, and I only picked 2 national champions, and they both lost last night. One was Gonzaga, one was Arizona. So,
yeah, if you look through the Sportsocracy's Tournament Challenge on ESPN.com, there are a lot of, in the little champion line, there is a lot of red.
Yeah.
However, our reigning champion, our Canadian, armchair commentary.
Is he doing it again?
He is leading again.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'll give you one guess who his national champion is.
Who? Providence.
Arkansas.
Really? Oh, well, good for him. Yeah, I've already lost that bet. So whatever. I don't think the House of Reprehensibles, which you could join on the YouTube feed.
I'm personally voting for the wiffle ball bet. I feel like we've been talking about that for 6 months. It's time to pay it off.
I don't know if they ever decided what the torture ticket's going to be, but yes, I did. I did take his challenge of my bracket versus his bracket torture ticket on the line.
You know, it's
and
ironic.
I lose again.
It's ironic you said
I'm
that.
your huckleberry.
Because he just super chatted. If you paid attention to Jeremy, he said Arkansas was built for the tournament, and no one listened but me. Get Tank's torture ticket ready.
Yep.
This is a really good team. I wasn't even nominally surprised that they beat Gonzaga. Because that's what Gonzaga does.
Mm-hmm.
How many times has Mark Few had the best team in the country?
There's at least 4 now.
I did the math.
Yeah.
This is the 6th time they were the betting favorite to win the national title. Not one time.
Nope. Came up short each and every time. Which begs my question of, is it because we put too much stock into their great records that they have every year?
Yes. Because they play no one for months at a time. Oh, but the non-conference schedule's so good. Yeah, and then you go 4 months down the road where they play Pepperdine.
Yep. And I hung my hat on that for a long time of I'll never pick Gonzaga. And then the last couple of years, they've bitten me in at least one bracket. Because I'm thinking, well, surely he's made enough adjustments. Surely he's brought in enough talent to win it this year.
Nope.
I mean, after they lost to St. Mary's at the end of the regular season, got dusted. Couldn't hit water if they fell off a bridge.
That's where I started to get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got run off the floor.
Right.
It's one thing to get beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's another to get embarrassed.
It is.
And they got embarrassed.
Yes, they did. By a St. Mary's team who, they're the second best team in that conference every year. But, again, they're the second best team in the West Coast Conference every year. But after they go into the West Coast Conference tournament and they win their 2 games there because they get the quadruple bye, but they beat St. Mary's in the championship of that conference tournament, and then I started seeing all the headlines again of, oh, this really feels like the year that Gonzaga's going to pull it off. And here you go, a Sweet
Missed
16 exit.
Yeah. By that much.
A Sweet 16 exit, and, once again, his star players will be moving on, and he'll be reloaded next year. I haven't even looked at next year's recruiting class, but I'm sure Gonzaga's back up there at the top 5 of who they're bringing in. But we do know that Chet Holmgren will be gone, and no more. What did Brian Hall call him?
If I was picking in the top 3 of the NBA draft, I would be running away from him like he was on fire.
You don't think he can add some bulk and be anything at the NFL or at the NBA level?
He looks like a flamingo.
He does.
He really does. He looks like a flamingo. He is all legs, and there is no meat on him whatsoever.
No, he's a very awkward-looking young man.
He
does have a lot of talent.
But he's too thin.
Mm-hmm. He does have a lot of talent. But once again, Mark Few's Gonzaga Bulldogs come up short in the NCAA tournament, and you got to start thinking, does Mark Few need to take that job somewhere else, get a big-time program, and then maybe he can win a national championship? You're just not as battle-tested. See, that's what I feel like happens to them each and every year. You can get all the way to the national championship game, as we saw against the North Carolina Tar Heels a few years ago.
And Baylor.
That's right. And then it just falls apart. Don't have enough gas to finish the run. So should he leave?
No,
I don't think so.
You've been here too long now.
Yeah, he's been there 23 years, 24 years, something like that.
Something in that.
Yeah.
It's 20-some-odd years.
Yeah.
I do love that the narrative today is now the Duke Blue Devils are the favorite to win the national title. No, they are not. And I would argue they're the worst team that won last night. And I'm not trying to rain on your parade. Congratulations, you get another game of Coach K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like your chances against Arkansas at all.
Too tough defensively.
When you have to slide back into a 2-3 zone, which, by the way, oddly enough, worked. I did really enjoy watching Texas Tech look at the 2-3 zone like, what is happening right now? Why is there no one guarding me at 30 feet? But Duke's just really thin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to say it. They didn't miss a field goal in the last 7+ minutes last night. Texas Tech still had a shot to win with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
That kind of should tell you everything you need to know. And now you're coming up against an Arkansas team. This is the closest to 40 minutes of hell I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And that does not translate well for Duke. They have 7 players.
Mm-hmm.
And now, congratulations. You won a game last night that outside the first 33 minutes, you really had no excuse to win. You found a way to win a game that you shouldn't have.
Yep.
But this narrative that now you're the favorite, I will disagree for the square aggressively.
Paolo Banchero played pretty well last night, and Jeremy Roach, he's kind of been the star. At least late in the games. At least late in the games. I mean, you go through this tournament run, and Jeremy Roach has been hitting big shots late in the games to keep this train running for Coach K. And the only thing, as a Tar Heel fan, going through my mind is it possible? Is it at least possible that we can end up with Carolina and Duke finally facing off each other in the NCAA tournament? I mean, we'd have to get to the Final Four. They have to go through Arkansas to get there.
That would be the immortal. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think either of them win their next game, if I was being really honest with you.
You don't think Carolina wins tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. And I'll be honest with you, and we'll get to those picks at the end of the next hour.
Yeah.
But the more the public bets it, the less I like Carolina.
Okay. All right.
I also want to know why by the end of every game, Krzyzewski better be glad he retired. Because by the end of every game, he sounds like Doc Rivers now, and I don't know where that came from. Have you noticed that? At the end of every game,
because he's going into each of these games going, this could be my last game.
He was, and I can't remember the sideline. I can't remember the sideline reporter's name. The post-game interview, I don't think I understood one word he said.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounded like he had just a little bit of a voice left, and it was hanging on by a thread.
I think he's just out there having fun.
He is.
And that's the thing that I love to see.
He did not expect to win last night. And if you don't think I'm right, go back and watch what he said after the game. Just as happy as he could be, living on borrowed time, and good for him. This is the one time I will say I am not adamantly rooting against Duke. I do not care.
I'm not either.
I found myself, and this is almost like sacrilege to me, I found myself in the last 5 minutes going, I kind of hope Duke wins.
The whole thing?
No, I hope they won last night. Oh. I'm not going that far yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Right.
But I did find myself going, man, this is a lot more interesting if Duke stays in it than Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm. You know me.
And their coach that looks like he teaches an English class at a local high school.
You know me, I'm all about storylines and narratives. I love these Disney-type endings.
I'm not at all. I think they're ridiculous. But I did find myself last night going, I like Arkansas a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Houston, and I like Villanova. But there's nothing really interesting about any of the three of them. Duke's at least interesting. You at least have a narrative.
How much longer can Duke win for Coach K? And once again, like it happened in the Final Four of 1994, there was a chance that Carolina and Duke were going to face off for the national championship. And it didn't happen because of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I wonder if they're going to stand in the way again, if they'll be the only team that stands in the way, because there's still more to do for Carolina. I'm on the complete opposite side of you on tonight's game. I think Carolina can handle UCLA.
By the way, that means you should go to betus.com right now and just heap it on UCLA.
But the Purdue game, if you have to face Purdue in the next round, that's going to be hard.
Don't worry. There is a sizable doubloon wager on the Purdue St. Mary's game.
Oh, is there? Or St. Peter's?
Well, that's who they're playing. I'm not going to.
You said St. Mary's, so I wanted to clarify. Yeah.
Saint something.
Saint something.
One's a peacock. One's a gale. They're both birds.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Who is the favorite now that we only have 12 teams remaining in the NCAA tournament, second half of the Sweet 16 coming up tonight? We'll talk about it up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies for us here tonight. A passing rain shower or two possible. Breezy and rather chilly as temperatures drop down into the middle to upper 30s. Temperatures well below average here this weekend. Mix of clouds and sunshine Saturday, becoming windy through the afternoon with strong gusty northwest winds. Highs only in the low 50s, about 10 degrees below average. Sunny, windy, and cool Sunday, low 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's best deals are happening now. Save up to $500 on top-selling brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchases. And don't forget hot buys like up to 50% off select queen beds. Shop now and save.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel Bonetta, and I have my very own podcast called Benched with Bonetta.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Woo! Every week, I'm going to be talking about all the things I find fascinating about the NFL, and I'm doing something that has never been done before. I'm opening my DMs.
DMs now open.
Subscribe now and listen to the Bench with Bonetta podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it.
Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh
to woo!
Hey folks, DG here asking you to give yourself the gift of Asheville smiles here in 2022. Studies have linked untreated gum disease to heart disease, erectile dysfunction, systemic diseases, premature birth, joint issues, and much more. Everything is connected. And seeing a dentist every 6 months is important for your overall health. For top-notch dental care from Dr. Rebecca Merrill here in Asheville, call 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Professional women's tennis is coming back to Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville, April 15th and 16th. Tickets are on sale now at USTA.com/BJKC. Get your tickets and see Team USA women's tennis in this exciting match, April 15th and 16th.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. So you need to change your oil. Right now you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $36.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
How does anybody like this?
It's
so bad.
It was like the song of the year in 1984, Dancing in the Dark, by Bruce Springsteen and the E-Street Band. They are going up against Imagine Dragons today in the Sweet 16 of our most overrated bands bracket. The poll is up right now in the chat. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can vote in the poll as well. We're off to a roaring start on the Boss's side. It's 92% Boss to 8% Imagine Dragons.
And frankly, I need somebody to explain that 8.
Most overrated. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Imagine Dragons, while I get that their songs are annoying and, I mean, my 10-year-olds love Imagine Dragons. And every time those songs come on, they want to sing every word. And
I couldn't name a song they've ever done.
Imagine Dragons?
I mean, I'm sure I've heard it.
Yeah, Radioactive. You know that song.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's better than Bruce Springsteen. But here's a list of other things that would be better than the sound of any Bruce Springsteen song. A bag full of cats. Angry cats.
Wet cats.
Yeah. 2 possums fighting over a pack of cheese that you accidentally put in your garbage can. 4 forks in your garbage disposal.
4 of them.
4.
That's rough.
Battling each other.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
rough.
the death. And you leave them in there for a while.
Right.
So shards go everywhere and sparks happen.
Cast your ballot now in the Sportsocracy feed on YouTube. The Boss and the E-Street Band. That's how we were able to, squeeze him into this overrated bands bracket. We had to include Little Stevie and all the others.
And as it currently sits, U2 and Springsteen appear to be on a collision course.
Yeah, there's only one thing about the E-Street Band that was never overrated, and that was Clarence Clemens, the sax player. He made the band. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
Frankly, Bruce Springsteen could be backed up by the Boston Philharmonic, and I would still go, that is awful. Just everything you do is terrible.
You don't like Little Stevie Van Zandt?
I don't. If it's attached to Bruce Springsteen,
Yeah.
I'm out.
You ever saw The Sopranos? He was in that.
I
don't know. He's a Jersey guy. Anyway, most overrated bands bracket is now 93% Boss to 7% Imagine Dragons. So it's going the wrong way here for the Boss. If you are a big Boss fan, then you need to get in on the chat and make sure that he goes home, because this is the one bracket that you did not want to win. Unlike the NCAA tournament bracket, where, of course, you go in and you want to win, Coach K and company, they are moving on to the next round to face off against Arkansas. You're going to have Villanova meet up with Houston, which I think is going to be a phenomenal game.
That will be the incredible game of the tournament that no one cares about.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a Saturday night, which just invariably gets you anyway. That is one of the patent flaws of the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
I will never understand why we do this way. Saturday night television is death.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's out doing other things. So you hide your best games on a Saturday night?
So what do you want them to be during the week?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So you want it to run like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Yes.
For the Final
That
Four?
is drastically better.
Okay. But, I mean, Villanova, they have won, 2 national championships in the last 5 years? 6 years, something like that? But they're still not a seller.
No,
I still don't feel like they're a headliner, and they should be. Like Jay Wright leading his Villanova Wildcats, that should be a headliner by now.
Oh, let me just out of curiosity, because I know you haven't looked this far.
Okay.
Houston, Villanova. Set the line.
I'd say Villanova -1.
You were wrong at Villanova.
Houston's
a 2-point favorite.
2-point favorite.
And I would take Houston.
Okay.
That Houston team is fun.
They are.
They absolutely demolished Arizona last night.
Yeah.
They had about a 3-minute period where they couldn't get the ball across half court, which is the only reason it was even respectable.
Michigan falls, Texas Tech falls, and Arizona and Gonzaga, the 2 number 1 seeds. So we got only 1 number 1 seed left, and that's Kansas. So does that mean Kansas is now the favorite to win this national championship?
Not to me. Not to me. I look at Kansas tonight. Yeah, you get Providence. I could see you losing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see you losing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you're going to, just saying I could see it. I told you before this tournament ever started, this is going to be one of those weird years where it's not chaos, but the difference between the 1s and the 4s is not that different.
Right.
Going into tomorrow, you got Houston a 5, Villanova a 2. Houston's the favorite. What does that tell you?
The seeding was off.
A, Vegas thinks the seeding was off.
Yeah.
B, there's not that much difference between the 2 and the 5.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was all mishmash there together, and I don't know. I would say Kansas is probably my favorite to win it right now. Purdue would be up there as well. I think they'd be my 2. And I'd probably say Arkansas would be the 3.
Arkansas is probably my favorite.
They're your favorite?
Arkansas and Houston. Those are the 2 I look at and go, man, they're good.
Which will be the worst dog water rating national championship game you've ever seen.
Oh, I got news for you. This is going to be the lowest rated. Every executive at CBS and the NCAA are looking at the officials that have the Duke game tomorrow night going, I don't care what happens. They advance.
Right.
Because if they don't, shoo, buddy.
You give me a Final Four with Kansas and Villanova and Duke and Carolina. That's the ones.
I can do you one worse than that.
That's the ones that that's what I'm saying. Like the NCAA's looking at this going, that's best case scenario because we get blue bloods, we get teams that have won national championships lately.
Oh yeah, because what you could get is Arkansas, Houston, Providence, and Purdue.
That ain't gonna sell.
I wouldn't. If they held that tournament in my backyard, I would sell the house. I wouldn't watch 1 second of that.
Really?
No. You
wouldn't watch Arkansas and Purdue?
No.
In the Final Four?
No. It's on a Saturday night. I got stuff to do.
He's got other stuff to do.
Now, you give me Carolina Duke in that game, now we can talk.
Which still baffles me that has never happened before. Duke has never played North Carolina in the NCAA tournament, and what a great way that would be to
That's
end
not
it.
as shocking as you make it.
I feel like it is because they've been so close so many times. Like I said, 1994, they're both in the Final Four. They're on opposite ends of the bracket, and it's almost like God has made this for us, that we're finally going to get to see it. And when it does happen, it's going to be for the whole Megillah. It's going to be, another addition to the greatest rivalry in all of sports. And then Arkansas. It is the greatest rivalry in all of sports. Don't roll your eyes at that.
It's good. It's very good.
What's better? Name one.
Oh, that's better?
Yeah.
There's an answer to that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an answer to that.
There's one that's pretty close.
If you say Yankees, Red Sox, I will chuck something at you.
That's the only one that's even close.
It can't be close. They play 43 times a year.
It's the only one that's relatively close.
Where
you going to go? Michigan, Ohio State?
That one's good in football. There's a lot of them in football.
I mean, I know there's a lot of good ones in football, but I still believe Carolina Duke. In basketball, nothing beats that rivalry. Yeah, I guess it is what it is.
I'll have to ponder on that. I think something beats it.
All right, you ponder. We'll get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Well, it's been an interesting day for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Dodger fans. You got a lot of hope for this year because your manager sure does. Dave Roberts goes on he goes on the Dan Patrick Show today, and he's guaranteeing victory. Not just in the division, not just for the pennant. He's guaranteeing a World Series. Dan Patrick asked him, he said, finish this sentence. The Dodgers will win the 2022 World Series if, and before he could get anything else out, Roberts said, we play a full season. We play a full season, and there's a postseason. We are winning the World Series in 2022. I know where you're going with that. We will win the World Series this year. Put it on record. So baseball fans, just remember that he said that. If the Dodgers are to come up short this year, it's going to be a lot of fun being had by whoever takes them out. Should it be the Atlanta Braves or whoever in the National League, or should one of the American League teams be able to beat the Dodgers this year? Dave Roberts has already carved the expectations for his fans.
Woo. Can we stop doing guarantees? Guarantees jumped the shark with Joe Namath.
And it's going to come back to bite you.
Joe Namath did it right, and from there it's been nothing but Disney replicas that are not good. Speaking of not good tone-deaf people, Johnny Manziel is back in the news because he is back playing 7-on-7 football.
Yeah.
But he had a major announcement. His professional football playing career it's over. Here's his quote. I'm going to try to say this and not laugh. I don't have the drive to play football at a high level anymore. I don't have a drive to be the best football player anymore that I used to have in my life, and I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with what my football career was and what it is, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can stay entangled in the game, but from a different position. Okay, I'm going to add I'm going to substitute a word, and it's going to make that an accurate sentence.
Okay.
I don't have the ability to play football at a high level anymore. I don't have an ability to be the best football player anymore that I used to be in my life, and it is what it is.
Right.
Hey, I fixed it.
Johnny Manziel.
In what world is Johnny Manziel even a – that is one of the top 10 most tone-deaf people in the history of sports.
I'd say Baker Mayfield's close to the second.
They're the same person. I'm actually convinced they're the same person. I've never seen them in a room together.
Right. Both disappointing for completely different reasons.
They look vaguely alike.
They kind of do. I mean,
if this was a Disney movie, one of them could be the other would stand in.
Sure.
They're the
they could play
same
brothers.
height, and from behind, they look exactly the same because they have the same hairline.
Okay. I was going to say, I've never really studied them from behind, but you do you. That's okay.
Well, I mean, you see them on a sideline with a clipboard a lot, so you get pretty good at the back of their head.
Well, you're going to see Baker Mayfield on a sideline with a clipboard a lot.
I'm not so sure you are.
Really? You think he's just going to be gone?
I'm becoming not convinced of that. Look, this is a hard industry for something to just go completely unnoticed. There is no one talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers, that was rumored. They put the kibosh on that quick. No, we feel good with Mitchell Trubisky. That's weird code for saying we will do anything in our power to get Malik Willis, but okay.
Yeah.
Malik Willis has to be sitting around just counting money he hasn't made yet.
Sure.
Every quarterback in this draft class has zero buzz, except Kenny Pickett in Carolina. Speaking of that, our 7-round mock draft for the Carolina Panthers will be in the happy hour at 5 o'clock today. Finally figured out my computer was on the wrong time zone, which is why everything was scheduled an hour out.
Oh, it was on the wrong time.
I thought I was losing my mind. Everything I did was an hour off.
Right.
Horses, not zebras.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got that all covered. 5 o'clock today, you will get the Carolina Panthers 7-round post-free agency mock draft here in the Sportsocracy with Baker Mayfield, of course, in the news. I mean, everybody's still wondering what's going to happen with him. The Browns going to keep him and pay him? Are they going to cut him and pay him? Are they? I mean, because he's getting paid.
They're going to pay him.
Right, he's getting paid regardless. There was the story that was floated out. Oh, the Browns are no longer seeking a first-round draft pick for Baker Mayfield. When were you ever going to get that anyway? I mean, a day after you drafted him, maybe? Somebody had been like, yeah, I'll give you a first-round draft pick. You just give me that guy right now. But after seeing him on the field for 4 years, no one cares. No one wants Baker Mayfield.
I will give you one bag of Progressive insurance coupons. That's about what he's worth.
Right. Somebody said in the chat here that didn't Netflix make a show based on Johnny Manziel called The Ranch?
Don't you put that evil on him. Was it Colt Bennett?
Yeah.
He went to Florida State. That is not Baker Mayfield.
He did, but he once played for the Colorado Crush?
Yeah, the Saskatoon Rough Riders. They had a bunch of funny. That was a great show.
It was a great show.
Great
Kevin
show.
Vick, good for you, following that up with, no, that show was successful. It couldn't have been about Johnny Manziel.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Had Sam Elliott.
Although I would say, I'd probably watch a show that was based on the life of Johnny Manziel. It'd have to be on HBO late at night.
Oh, absolutely. There would be a lot of buildings with no windows involved in that.
Yes, there would be. But Baker Mayfield, I hadn't heard this until I think last night, but apparently Baker Mayfield's people reached out to the Carolina Panthers and said they're not interested either. Like, I heard you weren't interested in me. We're not interested in you either.
Yeah, this is like the two people at the bar that just don't like each other going, no, I don't like you.
Right. Like, what an idiot.
Just throw drinks in each other's faces and walk away.
Like, you're really? That's your response to a team saying they don't want anything to do with you? You're like, fine, I don't want you either.
Yeah, Baker, you should be, at this point, anybody that would take you, you should hold on to them like a small child holds on to their binky.
Yeah. There was a press conference at 31 Mint Street today where Scott Fitterer came out and was talking to the press. And he did give Panther fans some good news that they are going to pick up the 5th-year option on Brian Burns' contract. So, in case you were wondering.
No kidding.
No kidding. But then they asked him about the quarterback situation, and he said the one thing that I think every Carolina Panther fan just had to smack themselves in the face and go, no, he didn't say that. He said the door's still open for Cam Newton.
Oh.
Yeah. And so we're kicking the tires on that one again.
He also said Sam Darnold is in the lead to be the starting quarterback next year.
In the lead.
No kidding.
Right.
The only other quarterback on your roster is P.J. Walker.
After seeing what you went through last year with Cam Newton filling in for Sam Darnold, is there still a Panthers fan left that goes, yeah, Cam Newton, he could still play this game at a high level?
Oh, absolutely.
God, you guys are just –
Panther fan boards. That is a great place to waste 20 or 30 minutes.
I mean,
because the argument you just had with yourself gets had in those forums at least 5 times a day.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the guy was god-awful last year. You couldn't win a game with him. You think now it's going to be better.
Oh, here's a fun question. If you started an NFL team and you had to start either Cam Newton or Baker Mayfield, who are you taking?
Didn't even think.
I think I would just retire and start an MLS team. Those seem to be very profitable.
We'd rather play soccer
100%
than start Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
I've had nightmares that were less terrifying than that.
It's not even close to me. It's Baker Mayfield, and I would be singing his praises from the rooftops just to avoid Cam Newton.
It's closer to me than you think, and that should tell you everything you need to know.
It does. It tells me everything I need to know about you. But, I mean, why even open this door again?
I
mean,
no
at this
idea.
point, you're just – I mean, are you just trying to appease the mob? Is the mob still that strong down in Charlotte?
Whoever the public relations person is in Carolina, there should be a sign on the outside of the media room that just says, no Cam Newton questions. We are not answering them. Don't ask them. No.
Right.
No.
Here's his direct quote from today's press conference. The thing with Cam is it's got to be a fit for us, and it's got to be a fit for him just as well. He's looking for a certain opportunity, and the door's still open for us. We're very open to Cam. We'll see where it goes. He knows where we stand. I think he and Matt Rule had a really good conversation from my understanding, so we'll just see where it goes. And that conversation was stay away from my football team. Or it should have been anyway. Like, yeah, we'll bring you in. We'll pay you, the league minimum, and you can stand around and continue to, you can wave your towel on the sideline and all that. But this is Sam's team, which is where you have to stand right now until
you draft either Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis.
Until the draft rolls around.
I will say the Cam Newton thing makes only slightly less sense than the Tom Brady to Miami rumor that's been trending on Twitter for a full day.
I haven't seen this at all.
How?
I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter.
There was a report yesterday that Miami was working on a deal for Tom Brady. Last month called, they want their story back.
Yeah.
No, Miami actually did make a call. Do you remember when Bruce Arians said he will be playing? That wouldn't be prudent or whatever he said about would they move Brady since he retired? That's what he was talking about. The Dolphins had called asking, well, maybe we could get Tom's rights. And Bruce Arians went, no, you can't.
No. I told you that from the jump. Like, there is zero shot that he plays for anybody else this year other than Tampa Bay.
Oh, there was serious discussion there.
With the Miami Dolphins?
Yes. There was serious discussion there.
I would have loved to have seen what that would have cost.
I don't know how they appeased Tom, but the Bruce Arians friction thing, that was real.
Mm-hmm.
The retirement, I had a change of heart. I don't think you did. I think you had hey, look, we got the band back together. Are you happy now, Tom?
Wait, we got the band back.
Geriatric?
He was the band.
No, you have a lot of pieces to that team. And I don't think you're as good as you were, but it is very obvious to me that you appeased him with the pieces he wanted back. Because, yeah, you lost the 2 guards. What else did you lose on offense?
Nothing.
You lost a reasonable amount. I mean, the 2 starting guards.
Yeah, you lost the guards, but
and Rob's not back yet.
Yeah, but then you bring in Shaq Mason and where I saw the story earlier today that not Scott Boras. What's the big agent's name? Drew Rosenhaus. Thank you. That Drew Rosenhaus was asked yesterday about Rob Gronkowski, and he said that he's still undecided, but that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had reached out and were going to make it possible for him to return, which I fully expect is going to happen.
As do I.
Right.
I just think it's funny how easy it is to rattle people. You go through this Madden offseason and then Brady to Miami. That was a thing. You got the month wrong. It was on February 25th of 2022.
Right.
Not today.
Well, the story that I remember was that the Miami Dolphins had reached out to him about an ownership stake.
No, this was for him to play.
Oh, okay.
When he retired, there was a bit of a scuttlebutt that there was a friction with Bruce Arians, and that's why he retired so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it took a month. Or 40 days?
40 days.
And they fixed it.
Yeah. It took 40 days for him to decide, no, I need one more year. There was a part of me that always felt like he was going to come back. I mean, you're the best quarterback in the league, statistics-wise. Your advanced age. I didn't think there was much shot of him.
It doesn't shock me either. Rashes are very hard to get rid of.
Right.
It usually requires a balm or a salve or a cream of some kind.
Yes.
And he is the great rash of the NFL.
He is the boy.
Just won't go away. Speaking of Tom Brady.
Uh-huh.
I'm your huckleberry.
We actually have 2 of these. The first one is from Jason Trump. It said, today is Tom Brady's #1 fan, Justin Parton's birthday. Happy birthday, Justin. Of which he fired back with,
I'm your huckleberry.
Thanks, Trump. Why won't Brady just go away? I have no idea. He may actually be bionic just to drive me absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a pretty good job of it.
It's all that avocado ice cream he's been eating.
Ugh.
I don't see why you do that to yourself. But now,
I don't see why you do avocado anything.
I like
avocado is disgusting.
No.
Ugh.
I love guacamole. That's one of the best things on the planet.
There are so many good dips that are tomato-based. Why do you have to put a sludge in it?
A sludge in it?
Green sludge. But it's a superfood. Yeah, and it tastes like a leather helmet.
No. There's nothing like a good guacamole.
Ugh.
My opinion.
Ugh.
I guess it is what it is.
Gross. There's so many good dips.
Uh-huh.
Why do you need to eat the gross one?
It's just a different flavor.
Ugh.
You can like them all, can't you? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the good ones.
Bean dip, guacamole.
Anytime,
you put them all together in that 7-layer dip with the avocado on top.
You put that in my 7-layer dip, we will fight.
Oh, it's not complete if it doesn't have that.
100%.
That's only 6-layer dip.
No.
Well, you put two different kinds of cheeses in it to still call it 7-layer?
I put corn in it.
Corn? Okay. Like corn salsa?
Yeah. Corn,
now I'm down.
Corn with cilantro with anything that's burrito bully. Oh.
Just remind yourself, anytime if you ever going over to the Greene household for a big event, you're gonna have to bring your own guacamole because he's not going to provide it.
Ugh.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 2-2 last night for the Flostradamus in Green on Green. See if he can make it a perfect night tonight. The picks coming up next.
The underdog, the long shot, the nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. We're with you every step of the way.
This week at Ingles, select 6 to 12 count Laurel and Cuddly soft bath tissue, $3.98 each. Select sizes and varieties Kellogg's Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loop cereal, 2 for $4. And select sizes and varieties Tide laundry detergent, $12.98 each. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Registration is now open for the 14th annual Black Mountain Greenway Challenge. This 5K and 10K run takes place April 9th and is the major fundraising event for the Black Mountain Greenways and Trails Committee. This year's fun and beautiful course starts at the Black Mountain Recreation and Parks building and highlights the Oaks Trail, the Community Garden Greenway, and Pathways in Veterans Park. Packet pickup and post-race awards will be held at the WNC Outdoor Collective. Register at runsignup.com/Black Mountain Greenway Challenge. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
iHeartRadio Earth knows small changes make a big difference for the environment. Did you know that keeping your tires even a single PSI lower than recommended means worse mileage and more trips to the pump? So do the environment and your wallet a favor and always check the tire pressure. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips on smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 826-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3...
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
2-2 last night. 2-3 if you add in the Texas Tech pick that I put here, because I didn't want to put it in 5 on it because I wasn't that sure. That would push me to 94, 92, and 6 against the spread this year. 4 picks in the NBA tonight. First one, the Dallas Mavericks are a 3-point dog tonight at Minnesota, which makes absolutely no sense to me. I feel like Minnesota Timberwolves bettors, they're good, and I use good very loosely, for the first time in forever, and they bet every line down. This makes no sense. I don't care where they play this game. Who's going to stop Luka Doncic? Ask yourself that question on repeat and take the Mavericks +3. Next, the Miami Heat are a 6-point favorite tonight at home against the New York Knicks. After what happened Wednesday night between Udonis Haslem and Jimmy Butler, the first thing I said to myself was, good Lord, I don't want to be the team that has to play them the next time they go out. Well, unfortunately, it's a team that can't score points in the New York Knicks, and Vegas forgot a 1 in front of that 6 because this should be about 16. This one's easy. Give me the Heat minus the 6. Finally, our Charlotte Hornets are a 4-point dog tonight at home against Utah, over-under 228.5. Utah has struggled recently. No Bojan Bogdanovic. I think that makes this game closer. I understand Utah's a decent defensive team. Charlotte is phenomenal offensively, and they're great as a home dog. Give me the Hornets plus the 4, over 228.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And you can take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy when you make your deposit, and they will give you a 125% bonus, which means if you put in $100, they'll give you $125 in free plays.
And you can take those free play dollars, put them on the 5 on it. Today's a great day to go to betus.com.
The 5 on it coming up in the next hour, and you're doing it again. You got all the games in the Sweet 16 tonight?
I do.
Nice.
One of them is not on that board because I would not put U.S. dollars on it. I'll give you a pick, and you can do with that what you will. I would not put my doubloons on it, and I have to preface it with that.
Again, the 5 on it was perfect last night.
We're up over $400 for the year.
Awesome.
That's with the Vigorish and everything. This is fees, all of it. If you had just followed all of my wagers, you would be up over $400 this year.
Vigorish.
It's free monies. Free monies. If you don't know what that is the cost of doing business in Vegas.
Yeah, I've always
That is the expense for the pleasure of wagering on this event.
Right. I had always just heard it as the Vig, and then I heard somebody for the first time say Vigorish, and I went, what does that mean? And then, oh, that's Vig. Oh, okay, I got you. I had no clue what it stood for before and didn't care.
The first time I ever said that to you, you asked me if it had its own kind of Newton. So now I don't say that on this show ever.
Oh, the Vig, Vig Newton,
delicious, wonderful cookie. Is that a cookie?
The Fig Newton? Yeah, it's a cookie.
That's not a cookie.
It is a cookie. It's a cake cookie.
The only kind of cookie is a chocolate chip cookie. There are no other. Unless you're talking about Girl Scout cookies. And then the peanut butter patty.
I was going to say, there are so many things that you can put in cookies. Of course it's a cookie. Speaking of, for me to have a cookie, it's got to be a cheat day. But on the PhD weight loss program, I don't want cheat days because I'm having such great success on this program. PhD weight loss has helped me lose 50 pounds in 4 months. My clothes don't fit anymore. I'm getting more active. I'm just excited about warmer weather at some point coming around the corner, and I'm going to keep going. And, who knows if I can hit the 175-pound mark that was presented to me at the start. But I believe I can do it.
Unlike Tank, I am not wearing someone else's pants, but I am wearing new pants that fit me nicely because I'm back down to my high school weight. I'm sleeping better. I feel better. And it's all because of the convenient food and the plan at PhD Weight Loss.
I've had to go to hand-me-down pants now because none of mine fit. I'm going to have to get a new belt. And the whole new wardrobe is on the cusp for me, and it's all because of PhD Weight Loss. Sign up with the program today. Go to myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com. Deshaun Watson got introduced today as a Cleveland Brown, and it was one of the most awkward press conferences you have ever seen in your entire life. We'll talk about that coming up next, as well as preview tonight's action in the Sweet 16. North Carolina Tar Heels and the UCLA Bruins going head-to-head, 2 Blue Bloods in the Sweet 16. You'll hear it right here on ESPN Asheville tonight. 8:30 is the pregame. 9:39 is the scheduled tip-off in Philadelphia. SportsCenter's next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies for us here tonight. A passing rain shower to possible, breezy and rather chilly as temperatures drop down into the middle to upper 30s. Temperatures well below average here this weekend. Mix of clouds and sunshine Saturday, becoming windy through the afternoon with strong gusty northwest winds. Highs only into low 50s, about 10 degrees below average. Sunny, windy, and cool Sunday, low 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone. at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Whether you want your pet to have the independence to run and play outside, or you need to correct some mischievous behaviors like digging in the trash, the hands-on trainers from Invisible Fence brand train your pets for you. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. Invisible Fence brand. Surround your pets with care.
Forget about that cleaning tip you saw on Facebook and call the experts at Zero Res to give your home the instant clean it deserves this spring. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $109, plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Your favorite radio station. Yeah, this one right here. And thousands more just like it are streaming on the free iHeartRadio app. And now you can talk to them with a single tap. Play any iHeartRadio station and tap the talkback mic on the screen to send your message in seconds. Ooh, and it's True Crime Week. Check our dangerously good lineup, including the new iHeart original podcast, What Happened to Sally Beale. Download the free iHeartRadio app today and discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
iHeartRadio. From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Quarterback Deshaun Watson says he has never disrespected or assaulted a woman. But he also knows that the allegations against him will leave a stain that will stick with him for a while.
All I can do is keep moving forward and continue to show the person that I am, the true character, the true person, the true human being I am. Like I said before, I've never done the things that these people are alleging, and I'm going to continue to fight for my name and clear my name.
Deshaun Watson at his introductory news conference in Cleveland today. Free agent quarterback Trevor Siemian will sign a 2-year deal with the Bears. He last played with the Saints. More Sweet 16 action in March Madness tonight. In Chicago, the only number 1 seed left in the tournament, Kansas, plays Providence. That game will be followed by Miami and Iowa State. In Philadelphia tonight, the highest seed left in the East, 3rd seed Purdue, will face this year's Cinderella, St. Peter's. Then North Carolina meets UCLA. And Murray State brings back Steve Prohm as head coach.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We are live in the Ingles Studio, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we are always brought to you by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Today was a big day in Cleveland as the Cleveland Browns introduced their new franchise quarterback. Still questions surrounding the future of Deshaun Watson, but we know whenever he is able to get back on the field to play, he will be playing for the Cleveland Browns. They had the introductory press conference today. Before that even happened, the owners of the team, the Haslams, said, "Yeah, we're not coming. We're not going to be there."
Which is as weak of a move as you will ever see.
No doubt. No doubt, because they knew what was going to happen at this press conference. And here's the thing. If I'm in that front office, I don't think today's the day to do this. Today's not the day to be answering questions just free-flowing from the media.
I understand why you did it. I will tell you right now, if I was Andrew Berry and the Haslam family looked at me and went, "Yeah, you get to go deal with it." No, I don't think I do.
Mm-hmm.
Either we both go or none of us do. Because I think he was put in an incredibly awful position. And then I've heard nothing but talking heads that do what we do, crushing every word he said. What exactly did you expect him to say?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked him a question about the salary cap. Why did you move the money around like that? I have literally already answered that question on this show, and my answer was the exact same answer he had, and that's all you will ever get out of them. Can I tell you there wasn't something said behind closed doors? Nope. And I can tell you nobody will ever confirm that.
So if they didn't hear it, what was the answer?
The answer was that for salary cap purposes, with what they're going to have to eat on Baker Mayfield, which is going to be a copious amount of money, they may end up eating 75% of that deal.
More than that, probably.
No, nobody's going to force you to take it. Well, first of all, you can't take it all. But if you cut him, it's just a dead outright hit.
Right, which is what I think ends up having to happen.
I agree, because I don't think nobody's taking that contract unless you're paying a copious amount of it.
Right.
So, of course, that's the answer. And then you put Deshaun Watson out there to answer questions, and what did you think he was going to say?
Mm-hmm.
That's the part of this that I don't really understand. What would have been a win here? He can't say anything because there's still pending civil matters, so he can't say anything at all.
Right.
The ownership who ultimately made this decision was too cowardice to come out and answer the question. Oh, we'll do it on a Zoom call, which was an hour ago. I haven't seen it, and I promise you the first uncomfortable question they got asked, there were technical difficulties.
Right.
And away they went.
Shut it down. Absolutely. And
you got poor Kevin Stefanski sitting there like, I'm the football guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only here to answer football questions. If you're curious, he was asked one question entire time.
Up there on that for that press conference, it was Andrew Berry, the GM, it was Deshaun Watson, and it was Kevin Stefanski. And they just opened the floor to questions. And, of course, everybody had a question about the one thing that these guys don't want to talk about. Like, I don't know when the right time to do it would be. I don't know that, I'm not here saying they absolutely, as Jeremy would say, boo-boo kittied this thing by making it an open forum for the Cleveland media. Maybe that's the best way to do it, though. Just rip the Band-Aid off and get past it.
You had already lost when the ownership didn't show up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is who made this move.
Mm-hmm.
You employ Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski to make football moves. This is what we have routinely said about this show. Don't ask us political questions. That's not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a cop, and I'm not a lawyer. I would say the exact same thing about Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. That's on the ownership. Oh, you've got sponsors pulling out. You can divert that question to the legal team, to the promotions team, or to the owners.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my question to answer. I am paid to figure out football things, and that's what Andrew Berry did.
I think they all handled themselves pretty well, though. I mean, Andrew Berry.
As well as you could expect.
Yeah, exactly. He faced the tough questions, and he didn't back away from any of them. I felt like there were times where he was a little unprepared, took a little too long to answer a question. How did you not see that question coming?
There was not one question asked that surprised me.
No.
Not one.
But that's what I'm saying is like, maybe he should have prepared a little bit more, but I felt like he handled it very, very well. And then you had Deshaun out there saying the same thing that he said time and time again when he has been confronted about this or has released a statement through his lawyer, Rusty Hardin, he was up there saying, look, I didn't do this. I've never disrespected a woman in my life, and I was raised better than that. And he said all of the things that you would think Cleveland Browns fans would want to hear from him. But he's just – there are some people that are never going to receive him. They're never going to receive his excuses or his his side of the story until it just goes away.
No, and you knew that was going to happen.
Of course.
To me, this is one of those times that the public relations department came in and said, we need to do this. And nobody said, this is a bad idea. Because there's no win here.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no win in this. There was a way to do this. And it was either you get the Haslams up there with Stefanski, and I would almost argue that he shouldn't have even been there. I feel like you put him in an uncomfortable position, too, because he's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will anybody ask me anything about football? And the answer to that was no. So to me, it was an error on the side of the Cleveland Browns, and shame on the Haslams.
Shame on the Haslams for skipping out on it. Because, they did hold a video conference at 3 o'clock. We were on the air, so obviously we couldn't listen in to see what was said. But I have seen no one pick up anything from it.
Yeah, I'm going to venture a guess that it wasn't much.
You think they dipped out?
No, I'm just –
Or they would do that.
They probably made a statement. The questions were probably pre-approved.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stray away from it, we'll cut you off. That's the reason we did it in a Zoom call.
Yep.
Because as soon as we start sensing you're going a certain direction, we're going to cut you off.
Right. Because really, in the end, it was the Haslams that should be facing these questions. I mean, they are the owners of the team, so obviously they have the responsibility for that. But in the end, it was their decision to approve the fully guaranteed $230 million contract. So you've got Andrew Berry up here trying to answer all of these questions as to why the contract was structured that way, and was it right to give him all this money, and what did you expect he was going to do?
He's a football guy.
Mm-hmm.
From the football perspective of this, that was absolutely the right call. Was there some behind closed doors nefarious? I have no idea. If you had some nefarious idea of why you did this, I don't know, and that's not on me. That's your decision.
Mm-hmm.
But from a football standpoint, he was 100% right. That was the right call.
Of course it was. It was the right call for somebody to make, and somebody was going to make it. And the Cleveland Browns feel lucky that it was them.
It's what absolutely drives me crazy about when people when non-sports people get involved in sports topics and you want to make a story about something that is not there. There is no story to that. None. You can make it whatever you want to. You can make the biggest mountain out of this tiny molehill that you want to. But at the end of the day, it makes all the business sense in the world. And that's going to be their defense. Whether that was why they did it or not, I have no idea. I mean, that's not true. I do have an idea. That's exactly why Andrew Berry did it. Now, was he told to do it? Maybe.
There was not a team that was not going to face this at some point. The question that I still have was it right to do it today? And it's gone. It's past. I give kudos to the guys that were up there receiving the questions, and I got to give it to the media too. I mean, I'm a former reporter myself. While it was just on little old radio station here in Asheville, North Carolina, the journalists did their job. Your job is to get the story. Your job is to ask the tough questions. And I was glad to see that they didn't let it slip. Because when you open that floor, they have to be prepared. You can look at this from both sides. Everybody, I feel like, did their jobs well today in that press conference.
As well as they could. That would be my addendum on that.
Okay, as well as they could. Yeah, the reporters tried to get as much as they could from Deshaun, and Deshaun met it with his head held high, maintains his innocence, and won't go past anything from there. He said, I'm here to win multiple Super Bowls, which, I mean, one would be enough. You give the Cleveland Browns one championship, that'd be enough. But this is a team that I do believe is now set up to win multiple Super Bowls at some point. You got the quarterback fixed. Now you got to worry about surrounding him with the right weapons, and I think you've got the right people in charge now, at least when it comes to football decisions.
I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So, was it the right thing for them to do? Was it the wrong thing for them to do? We can bandy about that all we want to. The thing is, it's done now, and maybe they can move past this. Maybe now that you've, like I said, ripped the Band-Aid off, now you don't have to answer these questions every week. I mean, you're still going to have to, because that's going to be an ongoing thing.
Absolutely.
Of every time Deshaun Watson gets in front of a microphone, they're going to ask him something related to this. It's not ever going to go away. I mean, until the civil stuff gets settled. And then we'll see. I mean, there is, they say there's still a possibility that there could be more criminal proceedings in all of this. But again, as we said yesterday, the Cleveland Browns would not have done this move if they thought there was any chance of that happening.
No.
You don't give a guy $230 million guaranteed. Throw yourself into this swamp and then get slapped with something new. I feel like that's what everybody was expecting yesterday. When that story came out that there was another grand jury in Texas that was going to be looking at Deshaun Watson possible charges, that's what everybody was expecting was, oh, here it comes. This is where the Browns are going to brown. But it didn't take, what? It was like 5 minutes after we got off the air yesterday that the story came out that the grand jury said, no, we can't prosecute. Does that mean that this is all over? No, it doesn't mean this is all over. Because he's still going to have to face the questions as long as the civil stuff is still around. There could possibly still be some outlier allegations that get thrown out there. But it's football time. I fully believe that's what his camp is looking at right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's football time. It's time to move on. It's time to see if we can win a title here in Cleveland.
That's how he's going to perceive it, yes.
Oh, of course. But there are always, asking the general manager of a football team, whether or not you can, I don't remember how it was phrased, but it was something to do with, how do you see this whole situation knowing that there are people that are never going to be able to pull for your team again? And Aaron Glenn was like, look, we're not trying to disrespect anybody here. We all understand the allegations of sexual assault, and nobody is trying to make light of that.
Andrew Berry. You said Aaron Glenn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aaron
Andrew
Glenn's
Berry.
the defensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. I don't think he had a take on
this. No, he did not. I'm sorry. Andrew Berry. But Andrew Berry was, he was very upfront of just like, this is a football decision. And we respect the thoughts and the feelings of others, but we have to do our jobs, and that's exactly what we did. So now I have to ask you the question, Jeremy. Deshaun Watson saying he wants to win multiple Super Bowls in Cleveland. Is that possible?
Possible, yes. It's absolutely possible. I think they're a year away from that. I mean, you got to look at the depth of talent, as we've talked about in the AFC, is fantastic. If I had to wager it right now, will Deshaun Watson be who brings the Super Bowl to Cleveland? I would say yes.
Okay.
That is an attractive destination with him.
Mm-hmm. There are some quarterbacks that, people always like to have this discussion. Is he a quarterback capable of winning a Super Bowl? And I've always felt like Deshaun is a yes.
I would say he's a yes.
We've already seen him win a national championship in college, and I liked some of those teams that, in the heyday there in Houston when he had DeAndre Hopkins and he had the defense with J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney. I felt like that was a team that at some point could win a Super Bowl. You put him in Cleveland with those weapons, I know they still have work to do this offseason. You still have a draft to go through. I feel like you still have to get Jarvis Landry to come back. And if you don't get Jarvis Landry to come back, you've got to get another wide receiver. Amari Cooper by himself is not going to carry you to the promised land. The running game's good enough, and your quarterback's good enough. Just put a couple of more weapons around them, and I think they'll be on the right path to a championship sometime relatively soon. The AFC is just going to be so darn tough over the next 5 years with all of those young gun quarterbacks and all of the moves that have been made this offseason to change the future of the AFC for an extended period of time. Devonte Adams, I still go back to that. I still think that's the best move of the entire offseason. Was the Las Vegas Raiders landing Devonte Adams was something that I never even imagined was going to be possible.
It's certainly up there. I can't say it's the best one. If I had to give a best move of the offseason, Deshaun Watson's going to be pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
But you gave up less for Russell Wilson, so I would say that would probably be my winner.
That's the winner.
Matt Ryan would be up there pretty high too. And then you get another Devonte Adams, Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are all win now moves.
Yeah. Well, now it's time for the next rumor to start. And I think it was Mike Florio that started it today about Kyler Murray. Is this the sign that Kyler Murray can force his way out of Arizona?
Oh, that's not a new rumor. as of right now, you can wager on who the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers will be week 1.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's 1.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember who 2 was. Jimmy Garoppolo was 2. Kyler Murray's 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that is a sucker bet because there's no shot of that. To me, it's Kenny Pickett, and he's like 5. Which means there is some tremendous money to be had if you can find that.
Again, the 2022 Post Free Agency 7-round mock drafts, team by team. We will have the Carolina Panthers mock draft coming out at the end of our program today on the YouTube stream. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link, hit the subscribe button. You'll get the alert when all of our videos come out. The Carolina Panthers, though, up first today at 5 o'clock.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies for us here tonight. A passing rain shower or two possible. Breezy and rather chilly as temperatures drop down into the middle to upper 30s. Temperatures well below average here this weekend. Mix of clouds and sunshine Saturday, becoming windy through the afternoon with strong gusty northwest winds. Highs only into low 50s, about 10 degrees below average. Sunny, windy, and cool Sunday, low 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Interstate 40 westbound traffic is stopped, and there are very heavy delays going between exit 15 and exit 7. North Carolina Highway 112 northbound traffic is stop and go between Brevard Road and Sandhill Road. And on Interstate 26 eastbound, there are minor delays between exit 33 and exit 37. U.S. Highway 25 alternative southbound, there are minor delays as well, with traffic slowing down between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Peter Cook with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it.
Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh
to woo!
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Both made with fresh cracked eggs. Or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time at participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Parenthood. Not a job for the faint of heart. It takes nerves of steel and a pretty strong grip on your senses. So here's to the moms and dads who board this roller coaster for the ride of a lifetime. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties chock full of nuts canned coffee, $5.98 each. Select 8 to 12 ounce board and sliced or shredded cheese, 3 for $5. And select sizes and varieties Post cereal, buy one get one free. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And, of course, you can find us at thesportsocracy.com. That's where you can find the quick link to the live video, our YouTube stream. Hit the subscribe button once you get there. Get into the chat and vote. Right now in our most overrated bands bracket, we're down to the Sweet 16.
That's not bad.
Imagine Dragons just,
there's not a lot of today music that doesn't make my ears bleed.
Right.
That's not terrible.
You like this song?
It's all right. I've heard markedly worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way better than that Radioactive song that gets stuck in my head and is awful.
I liked that song, but again, it was the first 150 times I heard it.
Yeah, and then they played it the next day.
And then, right. Well, I mean, like I said, my kids are 10 years old, and they love Imagine Dragons. And they have, when they're playing around the house on their phones, they'll pull up the YouTube Imagine Dragons playlist and just wear them out.
There were two bands coming into this that I genuinely don't think I've ever actually met a fan of.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen and U2. I have never in my life had somebody walk into me and go, I love U2. And if they did, I would. That's a weird thing to lead with.
Right. It's always going to be dudes that are about 10 years older than us that were right in that wheelhouse of being a teenager or a young adult in the 1980s. I can see that.
I mean, and there are a lot of these they're like cult phenomenon bands.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of lump Jimmy Buffett into this.
Okay.
I would rather listen to somebody bang four pots together than any song Jimmy Buffett's ever done.
I love Jimmy Buffett.
However, I kind of understand why people like that. I do not get anybody that sits around going, Springsteen's on. I got to listen to it now.
Those people do exist, though. I mean, I have worked with all manner of people in the radio business, and yes, there are diehard Bruce Springsteen fans out there who say he's the greatest of all time, like I do with the Beatles.
I get people that like Barry Manilow. I don't understand how you go, yeah, Springsteen.
Right now in the most overrated bands bracket, Sweet 16, Bruce Springsteen. Moving on. I mean, I think we're ready to call this. Unless we get an influx of, hundreds of votes coming in the last hour here. Bruce Springsteen's going to move on. He's up 83% to Imagine Dragons 17%.
Yeah, if this was an election night, this would have been one of those that as soon as the polls closed, we are ready to project the winner.
It's like a South Carolina Congress seat.
I didn't really understand how Imagine Dragons got here in the first place.
Because they are to that level where they're just rated enough. I mean they've had well, no, but I'm saying in popular music they've had top 10 songs for the last 2 years.
Now here would be my question after the kerfuffle that was yesterday. If Imagine Dragons had been up against the Beatles, now what happens? I feel like that one would have been easy.
Yeah, probably
so. Been the Beatles.
Probably so.
This is why I don't let you see things, because you gave the Beatles every opportunity to not.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. I didn't do that on purpose.
I don't believe you.
I don't remember who was in that bracket, but I felt like there were some really good ones. Rush was in that bracket. They should have moved on.
They didn't win their first game, let alone.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
they beat Bush in the first round.
As they should have.
Yeah. And I think they might have won the second round as well.
As they should have.
But anyway, you can, Imagine Dragons going to get some votes at 2 a.m.? No, we cut this off at the end of the broadcast. And it looks like Bruce Springsteen is going to be moving on in the most overrated bands bracket, which means that would be an Elite 8 matchup with the Dixie Chicks.
Oh.
It's going to be another big win for the boss.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think that's where their Cinderella run.
Yeah, boss in the
ends.
Final Four. It's going to happen. No doubt about it.
With U2.
Mm-hmm.
Springsteen U2.
My projected Final Four for this was U2, Bruce Springsteen. It was
Nickelback was one that I'm still dumbfounded that.
No, I think Pink Floyd. I think I had Pink Floyd.
I did too. And they didn't get out of the first round
in the Final Four, and they got beat in the first round by Weezer. Somehow, some way. Which I saw Ariel earlier today. Earlier this week. She was wearing a Weezer shirt.
I like Weezer. That's one of the few bands that have been in this bracket that I would actually listen to their music.
I don't know. To me, that's just not one of the bands that's like, yeah, I got to go out and get a Weezer shirt.
I'd probably wear a Weezer shirt.
Buddy Holly album.
Yeah. I'd probably wear a Weezer shirt.
Nice. Island in the Sun. That was always my favorite song by old Weezer. I can't believe you're throwing shade at Jimmy Buffett either. Don't ever let my wife hear you do that.
It's not that I'm throwing shade. I don't personally want to do it. I at least understand why people do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking to a guy that likes Creed, so
True. Very true.
I'm a little niche-y. I've never understood the Jimmy Buffett thing. Like the people that travel around the country. Basically, any band that you will travel around the country following, I probably don't get you.
Yeah. Grateful Dead.
Pink Floyd, Grateful Dead, Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, I'm out on all of them.
Yep. All right, let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
So I got an interesting phone call from my mom today. Yes, this is a personal story for the weird news segment because my mom calls and she tells me that something interesting happened to her on the phone. She checked her cell phone and she had a voicemail from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. And a guy saying, hey, this is Captain so-and-so, Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. We need you to give us a call back as soon as possible. Well, it showed up as a 250 number, and so Mom calls the 250 number there at the sheriff's office, and she says, Captain so-and-so called me. He said I need to call him back. So there it is. Well, she missed him. He wasn't at his desk, so she left a message and had him call her back. Well, while she was on the phone with Captain so-and-so from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, who was very nice and very prompt to return her phone call, Captain so-and-so called her on her cell phone. And this, my friends, is another scam. It almost happened to my mother today, but the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, there were two Captain so-and-sos on the phone simultaneously with my mother, who was told by the real Captain so-and-so that you need to hang up the phone immediately. Buncombe County Sheriff's Office wants to alert everyone that for the past 4 or 5 weeks, there have been phone calls going out to citizens saying that they're from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office and that if you have had a jury summons that you did not report for recently, and so in order to pay the fines or else you're going to get arrested immediately, you need to go and load up a debit card. And
anything that involves you loading a debit card.
Yep. Now, thankfully, Mom did not get down that path.
It's kind of like the prince that says, I have a great fortune, but you must send me money to unlock it.
Right. But when she told the other guy, oh, I'm on the phone with you, I'm on the other phone with you right now, and this one tells me that you are full of bleep, I thought that was hilarious. And apparently Captain so-and-so at the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office also thought that was hilarious, but not hilarious that the scam is going around. So if you get a phone call like that, do not respond. Just say, I'm aware this is a scam, and hang up the telephone. The Buncombe County Sheriff's Office will never ask you for money over the phone.
I would wager the subject of my story thought this was a scam. His name is Vinod Menon. He is the chair of the physics department at the City College of New York.
Okay.
Well, a few months ago, he came back to his office. There had been remote learning, all of the things, and mail had begun to pile up in his office. So as he's going through all of the mail, he finds a box. It's cardboard box with Pensacola, Florida return address. When he opens the box, he discovers $180,000 in cash in stacks of 50s and $100 bills.
Mm-hmm.
Along with these stacks of cash, he finds a note that says it's from a graduate of CCNY from long ago that majored in physics and mathematics. And he wants this money used to fund the education of a student that is majoring in physics with a double major in mathematics.
Okay.
That sounds like crimes.
Totally crimes.
It wasn't. They tied all the money back. It's not crimes.
He just really wanted to give money.
There was actually an anonymous donor that did not want this tied back to them, so they used a fake address in Florida, which they went backwards to find.
Mm-hmm.
They then found another house in Pennsylvania that this had somehow gotten tied to. They still have absolutely no idea who this person is. They gave their life story, the high school they went to, the year they graduated. They cannot figure out who this person is. But they donated $180,000 to the City College of New York. When they took it to police, they didn't know what to do with it. Well, recently they have completely washed it of it was not involved in crimes.
Mm-hmm.
They ran the serial numbers. There's nothing nefarious about the money, so they said, you spend it. So, nice, a nice anonymous donation.
That is great.
If you're going to do that, there are better ways to do that.
Uh-huh.
Look, and maybe this is the little time that I spent working at the post office. You're talking about scams. Let me talk about scams.
Okay.
Don't send cash in the mail. Ever. Ever. Especially if you're not going to tell somebody you're doing it. Do you know how many people touched this box between it being in wherever it was sent from? It said Pensacola, Florida. And that was where the
stamp was. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of time that passes between this. Boxes open and shipping all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just
sometimes by accident.
Wire it.
Right, Mr.
No.
Postman?
No.
He's like, no, that never happened.
No, it doesn't ever happen.
Good.
Machines tear packages. And
they do.
Just, okay, don't send cash.
Mm-hmm.
Don't send cash. Just wire it. It's too easy to do that.
So it's just a band of cash in the mail.
It was a box full of hundies.
Wow. Could have been two full.
Which raises the great question. If you went home one day and found a shipped box to your house with no name on it and just a mountain of cash, what were you doing with it? I know what you're doing.
Oh, I was getting ready to say, you know what I'm doing with it.
Yeah, it's never going to be declared to the government.
Nobody
I promise
will
you that.
ever know.
I would know. You would stop wearing other people's pants, and I would get very suspicious. I know you entirely too well.
Wow, you have been right about so many things on this program. You have never been more right about that.
You show up in a pair of pants that was bought and still had a tag on it, I would immediately alert authorities.
Did you do crime?
Is there a bank robbery that no one has discussed? Because something's up.
Yeah, if it doesn't start with, hey, I got these pants from a friend.
These pants came. Actually, you know what? You know where you would really get me if you said, I bought a pair of pants at Buckle. I would go, no, you didn't.
Buckle? Oh, I've seen that place in the mall.
And that's all you need to know
exactly.
about that. In the immortal words of Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that.
Is that a popular place? Is that where all the kids are buying their clothes today? What is the oldest sounding thing I could say right there? That's what went through my head.
I think you hit it.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Thank you. All right. So goal achieved.
If it has the phrase "the kids" in it, out.
We got March Madness continuing tonight with the Sweet 16. Again, North Carolina Tar Heels taking on UCLA tonight at 9:39. The official tip-off schedule on CBS, but you can hear Jones Angel and the crew right here starting at 8:30 tonight with the pregame. North Carolina against UCLA. 4th-seeded Bruins against the 8th-seeded Tar Heels.
And here, I'm going to ask this question. I asked this yesterday. I'm going to ask it again today. Why are we tipping this game off at 9:39?
Well, now it's Friday night. Now I can stay up. I
stayed up for the two last night. It's just inconvenient.
It is rather inconvenient, and I'm glad that that's the oldest thing you've said today.
I mean, I was awake for 3 hours after it was over, so it's not like it was that inconvenient. I can't imagine trying to play a game that tips off at 9:39 Eastern time.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're on the East Coast. Like, it'd be a different thing if this was the San Francisco region and you were playing out there.
I also love the excuse of, but what about the Western time zone? You do realize that's like 15% of people, right? If you took away L.A., it drops by like 5%.
And especially when you're thinking about the interest in college basketball.
And as there's that.
Right.
There's also, they would have to get off work at 4. Let me just tell you this as somebody that I did a reasonable amount of business in California. I promise you they would not object to that. If any place ever institutes a 4-day work week, it will be the state of California first. That's the only place that I ever did business that I didn't have to put on a suit. Show up in jeans and you're fine. That's where my love of sandals started, by the way.
No one is shocked.
I taught enough classes in California. It happened like 2 times in the course of 6 weeks, and I went, they don't care what I wear.
And you took all of your hair and grooming tips from those guys living in the tents down in San Francisco too, didn't you?
Yes. A guy with a surfboard laying on the beach in the middle of the afternoon told me, this is a good look. And I went, okay.
All right. Does that mean I
haven't cut my hair since?
Yeah. He said, does that mean I never have to wear socks again? Okay, I'm in. We'll do that. UCLA against North Carolina. You said earlier in the program, Jeremy, that you don't think North Carolina Tar Heels are going to come out with a win tonight. I feel like they will. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I've felt that way with North Carolina for about 4 weeks now.
I just feel like the betting public is too far. The number is too much on UCLA for how much fervor you're getting for Carolina.
Okay.
The Sharps are on UCLA, and there's a reason. 80% of their minutes from the last tournament are on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina can be maddening at times.
Yep.
They're really thin. I don't think they're going to have as much of a down-low advantage as you believe they will. Because usually, if they decide to – UCLA is so methodical that I don't see this being a track meet. They're the more senior team. They're going to dictate the pace.
Yeah, and they'll definitely try to get them into the half-court game.
The under. Aggressively on the under. I can't remember exactly what the number was. It was 141 and a half, 142. Under. This will be first one to 60 wins.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There are like 10 teams in all of college basketball that are slower than UCLA.
Mm-hmm. Carolina still likes to play that transition game, and they've got to be hitting their shots. And you've got to get the way it's been going, you've almost got to get 20-point games from 3 guys. Because that's how Carolina's built. Like you said, they're thin. They don't have the bench presence that past Carolina teams have had.
No.
So you need 20 points from some combination of 3 guys, whether it be R.J. Davis, who scored 30 in the last game, or Armando Bacot, Brady Manick. One of those is necessary. You're not going to do anything holding those 2 down, which we haven't seen anybody hold those 2 down at pretty much at all this season. Simultaneously. I mean, they've each had their bad games and good games, but you have to get that performance from somebody. Caleb Love we cannot afford for Caleb Love to come out and have a night like he had the other night, where he goes 1 of 14 from the floor or whatever the stat was from the last game. It cannot happen. You have to have Caleb Love hitting his shots for this team to move on.
He is going to be the most important player on the floor, I believe.
I would agree. R.J. Davis has been doing a fantastic job of running this offense since they flipped the switch to everything's got to go through him. Let's let Caleb Love play the 2, and it just seems to work so much better. UCLA is scary. I'm not saying, again, when I say I think Carolina can handle them, I'm not saying like we're going to go out and mop the floor with them, but I feel like you can hang with them. I get that they're the more seasoned team, but I think the size will play a difference tonight. So I'm on the Carolina side of this one. St. Peter's, it's been fun, and it's been real. And it's been real fun. But this is over tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Zach Edney alone, or Edie, or how do you say his name? Edie? Edie. I don't know that they've seen a guy like that this year.
Oh, we've seen this before. This is the 3rd time a 15 has gotten to the Sweet 16.
Yes.
None of them have made it to the Elite 8.
Mm-mm.
And in large part, they got dominated here.
Right. It's been a fantastic story with Shaheem Holloway and his entire team. And, I was watching one of the previews yesterday before the games, the pregame show, and, he was talking about how he's recruited this team, and he's got a whole bunch of, New Jersey-type kids on his team that just have that chip on their shoulder. They were under-recruited or not recruited at all, and they just want to come in, and they're not going to back down from anybody. That's a great story until you start going up against superior competition. Not trying to throw shade at Kentucky that they're not superior competition, but I firmly believe that, they have an excuse. Kentucky's got the excuse of, we didn't know this was coming.
Well,
we didn't know they could do this, but now everybody's got to know.
Well, and you got to realize how they got here. They got here because they were able to offensive rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the problem. Purdue is top 10 in the country as a defensive rebounding team in terms of efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be ugly. I'm afraid that one gets ugly.
Yeah.
And the number has stayed down because obviously the 2 wins against Murray State and Kentucky. This is not that. You also look back to they've only really gotten smoked once all year, and that was at St. John's.
Okay.
They've played pretty close. And the number of as of when I set the number for 5 on it, it was 13. I don't know if that's moved at all.
It's still showing as 13 on my screen here. So Purdue against St. Peter's tonight, that Cinderella run, I feel like it's going to come to an end. You got Kansas taking on Providence, and to me, this could go one of two ways. This could either be the Bill Self team that, self-implodes and falls apart, or this could be the Providence team that does that.
The thing that would make me nervous if I was a Kansas bettor tonight, the number's about right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's not in 5 on it. I did not lay that one.
Number's too close.
Because it's too close to right.
Yeah.
Where that could fall apart is Providence playing with house money. They were the worst of the good teams all year.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've had a whole week here where Ed Cooley's had the motivational technique of nobody believes you should be here. And guess what? If you get beat, who cares? Yeah. You're losing to the best team left in the tournament. It's not like anybody's going to hold this against you. There is something to be said for being able to play free and loose.
Right.
Now, the difference between Providence and St. Peter's is Providence has the talent to actually do something with that.
Mm-hmm.
St. Peter's, not so much.
Not so much.
If you forced me to take a side of it, I would take Providence +7.
Okay.
If you absolutely forced me.
Money line, Kansas. Not sure?
If I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not advising you do it. I'm just, if this was life or death, I must make a choice. I'd probably just go all in and go Providence money line.
Okay. I would love to see it.
I would probably just assume that this is – I mean, you got to understand, Remy Martin has played out of his mind the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
He has as many points in the last 2 games as he had in his previous 7 combined. No, I don't necessarily think that's going to continue tonight. That team's running really well, and I get it, but I would be on the Providence side. Yeah. I've watched Bill Self do this too many times.
Agreed. They do have the propensity for that. I like Christian Braun tonight. I think Christian Braun has a chance to have a really good game. And then you've got the game where one double-digit seed is going to the Elite Eight.
And if you watch more than 40 seconds of this game, you need to have your head examined.
Yeah, Iowa State against Miami. Whew.
If you had that, you're a witch.
Uh-huh. But I'll be on the Iowa State side on this one.
I'll tell you momentarily which side I'm on.
Right.
That's the one where Vegas got it wrong.
Yeah, Iowa State's one of the best defensive teams in the country. They're gonna try to impose their will, and again try to keep it in that half-court game against Miami. And I just don't know that the Hurricanes have the strength to pull it out. Well, let's see. Time to put 5 on it, March Madness style. He went 4-0 yesterday. We'll see how good he can do now.
It has been a tremendous week and a half. We are up $449.08 from our initial bankroll of $500. Tonight, I have 3 picks. The first one, I got 50 on it. The over-under in Carolina UCLA is 141.5. I got 50 on it. That's going under, and I think it's going aggressively under. I know Carolina's a fast-paced team. They've averaged over 90 points a game in this tournament. UCLA is so deliberate. And when you look at a big change in pace, you go to the more senior-laden team because the younger team is the one that is more likely to get swayed into the game the other team wants to play. I don't think this is even close. I think the final score of this game is going to be something in the neighborhood of 63-60, and I'll take UCLA. But I'm aggressively 50 on it, under 141.5. Next, Iowa State's a 3-point dog against Miami, and that's stupid. I got 50 on it. Iowa State's not only the better team, they're the more disciplined team. Miami, I get it. It's been cute. They had two very nice matchups in the first two rounds of this tournament. Iowa State is not that nice of a matchup. This has been bet, and I don't know by who, but it's not people that watch a lot of college basketball. I got 50 on it. Iowa State plus the 3. Finally, I'm going big. I got 100 on it. Woo. The Purdue Boilermakers are a 13-point favorite tonight. This is one of those where Vegas is they're kind of stuck because you can't set this number where you want to because everyone will bet it, and if you're wrong, you will take a bath.
Yep.
So they settled in the middle. I've already seen two people in the comments say, I've got to take 13 with St. Peter's, right? Not so fast, my friend. This will get ugly in a hurry. This game will be over with 10 minutes to go in the second half. I got 100 on it. Purdue minus 13 versus St. Peter's.
And you can take those wagers to betus.com. BetUS.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500 just for using the promo code Sportsocracy at betus.com.
Another thing you should pay attention to. Look at the coaches whose names started appearing in searches elsewhere. As soon as it got real loud, they lost the next game. St. Peter's don't have the talent for there to be any other noise. Shaheen Holloway has noise. This game will get ugly. I'm aggressively on Purdue.
All right. Maybe the moment will be too big for the Peacocks. We'll just have to wait and see. And again, you got North Carolina Tar Heels, UCLA coming up tonight right here on ESPN. Asheville pregame coverage will begin at 8:30.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Interstate 40 westbound traffic is stopped. Expect heavy delays between exit 15 and exit 7. Interstate 26 eastbound, there are minor delays between Broadway Street and US 70. And further on 26 East, traffic is slowing down between exit 33 and exit 37. Lastly, on US 25 alternative southbound, traffic is slowing down between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Peter Cook with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the maker of NexGard Afoxolaner.
NexGard Afoxolaner is monthly flea and tick protection that's #1 vet recommended and #1 dog preferred. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Ask your vet or visit nextguardfordogs.com to learn more.
Professional women's tennis is coming back to Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville, April 15th and 16th. Tickets are on sale now at USTA.com/BJKC. Get your tickets and see Team USA women's tennis in this exciting match, April 15th and 16th.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real lasting relief now with the natural biologic treatments of QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative solutions that can restore and repair damaged tissue with no surgery and no drugs. This is the relief you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulder, and lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a physician with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success, life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here ready to help you now. Call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics, located in Asheville and Greenville. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The underdog. The long shot. The nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen, 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. We're with you every step of the way.
This week at Ingles, select 6 to 12 count Laurel and Cuddly soft bath tissue, $3.98 each. Select sizes and varieties Kellogg's Frosted Flakes or Fruit Loop cereal, 2 for $4. And select sizes and varieties Tide laundry detergent, $12.98 each. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Dirty Turkish back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
I've said several times that I don't fault the Cleveland Browns for acquiring Deshaun Watson. You have your own legal team. You have your own investigators. If the information that you got was enough for you to be comfortable, that's on you. You have to make that decision, not me. What I will blame you for is you trot out this weird idea of the GM, the head coach, and Deshaun Watson are going to have an introductory press conference. I could even get past that until I realized that the ownership of the team was not there. If you have enough feeling about this that you're willing to commit $230 million to a quarterback that's had 22 different sexual assault claims against them, no charges, just claims. That's something that is relevant to this. Not a lawyer, not a cop. If you're comfortable enough with that, then you should be comfortable enough to put your face in front of this press conference instead of trotting out Andrew Berry to answer questions that have absolutely nothing to do with him. This would surprise me, except this is the same guy that was raided by the FBI because he was defrauding his Pilot J customers and had to pay $93 million in restitution. See, that's the thing about things like this. That story had largely gone away until you do something like this. And then it comes right back to the forefront, and it shows that maybe you're a little bit of a sketchy character, and it calls all of these things into even more question. I'm mad.
The Haslam skipping the press conference today, it was one of the most Bush League moves that I have seen in the NFL in a while.
If you're confident enough to make the deal, give up the picks, give up the deal, the media backlash, the public backlash, you're the one that has to go out there and face the media.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Bush League, the Duke Blue Devils, they had a good night last night, but there's one former Duke Blue Devil that did not have a good night last night, and I want to say Thomas Satoransky is out there doing the Lord's work. Did you check out the big foul he had last night on Grayson Allen?
I did.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Brooke Lopez blocks a shot for the Milwaukee Bucks, and as they're trying to transition down the floor, Grayson Allen with the outlet pass, and then Thomas Satoransky clotheslined him, and I thought it was the greatest thing I had seen all day. So I feel like we all owe something to Thomas Satoransky today for, just trying to get one back on the NBA's dirtiest player. We got NCAA basketball coming up tonight. Sweet 16 action right here on ESPN. Asheville, 8:30 pregame start, 9:39 tip-off. North Carolina Tar Heels against the UCLA Bruins. It's going to be a fun weekend, and we will know who's playing on the Final Four, or in the Final Four, when we meet back here on Monday.
We've also got 7-round mock drafts going out all weekend long. Go to the Sportsocracy.com. Each team has its own little individual playlist. You click on that, and your teams will play. They will all be out by the end of the weekend.
That's right. Subscribe to the channel. Go to the Sportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Subscribe, and like all the videos. We appreciate all of it. And just closing out the overrated bands bracket, on goes the boss. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band beating Imagine Dragons handily.
He had it all the way.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies for us here tonight. A passing rain shower or two possible, breezy and rather chilly as temperatures drop down into the middle to upper 30s. Temperatures